All right. What is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode podcast, weekly real estate tip. And today I'm here to talk to you about how, as a real estate agent, how you can make 100 grand in the next 90 days inside your real estate business. Now, real quick, if you are watching this on YouTube, please do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell next to it. That way you get reminded and don't miss new content as I'm publishing new GSD Mode podcasts. Also, smash that like button if you find value out of this interview. Also, make sure that you guys visit gsdmode.com. There's a bunch of other free resources on there, free trainings. Right now, I've got a great 3-hour in-depth masterclass on how to go out there and pivot and navigate during this shifting time. It's called 6 Steps to 3Xing Your Real Estate Business, regardless of the marketplace. All right, so let's jump on into today's topic. So again, how to go out there as a real estate professional and make 100 grand in the next 90 days. And I was inspired to create this. I was recently a guest on, I don't want to call it a podcast, but an event that is teaching agents. It's like, hey man, you got 100 days. Within 100 days, you're out of the business. You need business. You need business now. What do you do to go out there and drum up this business? Now, I know that's what inspired this. I know today we're talking specifically how to go out there and make 100 grand in the next 90 days in your real estate business. But this is what got me thinking about this. And I've coached, I've mentored so many agents on this that have went out there and achieved this. So this isn't theory. This is, hey man, if I had 90 days, if I needed 100 grand. Now, when I say 100 grand in 90 days, some of this might be closed revenue. Some of this might be in the pipeline that you have in the pipeline under contract and escrow within that 90 days. I'm not here saying that all of that may be closed revenue, but if I needed 100 grand in 90 days, here is exactly what I would do and how I would attack this. So the first thing, and I've got 5 different points I'm going to go through with you. The first one though is really a tip, something that's important to understand and know. The other 4 actual strategies, things that you can actually go out there and do. And you don't need to do all of these different strategies. You know, if you just hit 1 or 2 of these hard, if you can do all 5 or all of these, great. But if you just applied an insane amount of time, energy, and focus to any of these, you know, right, it could go out there and do the trick. But the first thing is to understand the lead source time frame. I see this as a big mistake in our industry that, you know, there isn't enough time devoted to this. And what I mean by this is when looking at every single different lead source, and I'll give some different examples here, but again, understanding what that timeline is based on that different lead source that you're approaching. So if I look at like Facebook ads, okay, if I needed 100 grand in the next 90 days, I wouldn't go out there and start doing Facebook ads, you know, to contribute to do that 100 grand in the next 90 days, because I understand and know that my average Facebook lead that's in my CRM is about 7 months out. They're 6.7 months out from becoming a client. So then it might be, you know, 8 or 9 months or 7 months, but closer to 8 or 9 months before I get a closed commission on that. So this is where you got to be very diligent and methodical at picking your different lead sources based on what those time frames are. Because if I need that money, I got to deal in realities and align my efforts with ways that will allow me to go out there and make that money. Now also, and it doesn't mean this, you know, this video, this podcast is going to live out there forever. So you might be watching this at a different time, but I'm going to speak to the time that we are in as of me recording this. It is December 5th, 2022. So we are transitioning from a seller's market that we've really had since about 2012 into this, but an extreme seller's market over the past couple of years. And we're now transitioning into a buyer's market, at least most areas. So if you look at like average days on time in my market, it's about 55 days for listings that are selling. You know, there's a big contingent of listings not selling right now. So if I looked at this, if I was going to go out there and start circle prospecting for new listings, and let's just say I got a couple listings or got some listings drummed up in my first 30 days of circle prospecting. So maybe it takes me, you know, 30 days to go out there and get those listings. Well, then we are now in a market where when I take that listing, like that property has to show at its absolute best. It's got to be decluttered. It's got to look great. So maybe it takes the seller another 2 to 3 weeks to get that property ready before I can even bring in my photographers and so forth. Then maybe it's another week to get all the marketing that I need to get it live on the MLS. So now we're a month, you know, like a month and a half into that process, right? Then I need another 55 days, assuming that property is priced right. It could take the average days on the market of closed sales in my market right now is 55 days. So then it can take another 2 months to get that property under contract, then another 30 days for that thing to close. Well, then boom, I've missed that 90-day window that I need now commissions. So I'm going to take these things into account. I'm going to look at lead sources based on the time frame. Then I'm going to take it a step further on the type of client that can lead me to the quickest revenue. And this is going to again be based on in 2020, 2021, that'd be a different story. It's like you could get a listing, you could get it on the market right away. I mean, even if it wasn't priced well, like things were selling fast, I could get paid on it fast. Well, things are different now today, right? So we got to look at that. What is the client type? And also, what is that lead source? Right? So for me, I'm going to be right now in this market, in the climate that we're in, I'm going to be focused on buyers. That's going to be the quickest way to now money, now that buyers are back being in control. And I'm going to look at methods of what are quick time frames. And I'm going to go through those with you here. What I would recommend that I have found are the quickest ways to now money inside this business. All right, so let's jump into those. And that was just an important point I wanted to make, so you have that understanding with that, so you can align those two things, because those are very, very important, especially when you are in a crunch where you need now money. Now, I'm not saying that it's not that I wouldn't do Facebook ads, right? But I would understand that that's 6 months, maybe even 9 months business down the road. So I'm building up that pipe for I need business in 9 months, I need business 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 2 years. So I'm okay with that, but I'm not going to be delusional thinking that income is going to be now income either. Okay, so step number one, as far as now, let's get into actual like tactical strategies that you can go out there and start deploying to go out there and make 100 grand in the next 90 days. All right, so number one is going to be tapping into your sphere of influence. So the first two methods here are going to be if you have a sphere of influence and if you have leads already in your system. The other three are going to be, okay, if maybe you're brand new in a market, you don't have any sphere of influence, you're brand new, you got no leads inside your CRM. So don't worry, if that's you, I got you covered here in this podcast. But all right, so just in case, in the event that you have a sphere of influence, which I'm guessing most of you do, even if you're new to real estate, you still got, your sphere of influence are just warm relationships. Like the way I look at it, my sphere of influence, past clients, is a silo to that. It's a part of that. But my overall sphere of influence, the way that I define it in my own business, is if you were to walk into a grocery store, shopping at a grocery store, and you see this person, maybe you don't even remember their name, maybe they don't remember your name, but you know them from somewhere. It's a friendly face, you're waving, it's somewhat of a friendly, again, a friendly encounter, a warm, not a hot relationship, but a warm relationship, right? Warmer than a cold lead, a brand new lead that has never seen you before, has no idea who you are, doesn't know your face, doesn't know your name. That's what I look at as a sphere of influence. So I'm going to tap into that, right? Now, if you have, a quick way to do this is just to grab your phone and start reaching out to everybody inside your contact list, inside your Rolodex. Now, the biggest pushback I get on this from real estate agents is, man, I don't want to, come across that salesy, begging for business person. And look, nobody wants you to be that person either. You don't need to. The cool thing about it is the law of reciprocity is the most powerful law out of all the laws of influence. The law of reciprocity is the most powerful law. So if you just focus on them, focus on asking about them, being interested in them, focusing on connection, focusing on that rapport and so forth, they are going to reciprocate and ask about you. And then you can flip this around onto real estate itself and talk about that with you being in real estate. But just when you reach out to them, just focus on them. How are they doing? What's new in their world? How are their kids? How's their family? How's their job going? How's just whatever. Just so I'm just asking about them. Be interested. This is, I'm a big believer and a big fan of How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. So I'm going to be asking about them. I'm going to be interested in them. Now they are then going to ask about you. So yeah, well, how are you doing? Well, I'm doing great. So for me, I'm going to answer this on a personal level first. Then I'll flip it into real estate. And I should have, kind of sidelined this before I got into this, but it's really also important to know who the current market is good for. So in my current market right now, I know that buyers are in control. Is when I look at every single metric that exists out there. It is the best time that we've seen to buy now in a 3+ years, since about 2019. Now that prices have come down substantially, there's 3 times the amount of inventory, so they don't have to settle for the property. They're able to go out there and so there's 23,000 listings versus 5,000 listings. So they're not having to settle for location or features inside the property. That same house that they would have bought a year ago is maybe 100 grand less today, because our market's been hit pretty hard with this market correction or crash or whatever the hell you want to call it. So they get that property for 100 grand less. They get a seller that's willing to negotiate repairs, willing to negotiate, closing costs and other things, right? Even rate buy downs and so forth, because, the market's changed. So when we put all that into account, like we know it's the best time to go out there and buy in 3+ years, as long as we're able to handle the whole interest rate issue, which we're able to, right? We're getting rate buy downs, whether that be from builders, whether it be from iBuyer listings that are in the market, whether it be from regular, sellers in the market. It might take some offers, but we're able to get these rate buy downs, in form of a seller concession, to go out there based on all the great loan programs that are available. So then it's the payments are more affordable. The house is cheaper. They don't have to settle. They can get repairs done. So again, on all those different fronts, it's the best market that we've seen to go out there and buy in 3+ years. And why that is powerful is when people are asking me, well, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm great. Family's great. Wife and kids are doing great. And as far as business, the real estate market is just crazy right now. I know in the media, it says that the market is bad, but we are finding right now it's the best time to go out there and buy in 3+ years. So we are busy as hell. I'm busy as hell. I'm in the habit of saying we because I have a team, but I'm busy as hell, helping all my amazing buyer clients go out there and buy real estate. Appreciate you asking. Speaking of, hey, while you have you on the phone, do you have any questions, concerns? I know that you might not be looking to buy or sell right now, but do you have any questions of what's going on with the real estate market? I know it's on top of mind by, on a lot of people. Do you have any specific questions for me that I can help answer, based on the real estate market? Look, it's going to spur into conversations about that. And what's going on right now is so many people are so attached to the news, the media. They just hear things that the economy's bad, it's declining, the housing market's bad, it's declining. Well, there is no such thing as a good market or a bad market. The real estate market is always good for somebody. As real estate professionals, it is our job to identify whom the market is good for, pivot, shift, and adapt our marketing, prospecting, focus, and energy to whom it is good for. Now, my sphere of influence, these might be sellers, these might be buyers. The market might be good for them. It may not be good for them. That is okay. But the goal here is now I'm having conversations, developing that connection, furthering that rapport, but I'm having conversations with warmer relationships, people in my sphere of influence. And there's going to be a contingent of those, a percentage of those, of people that are looking that this market is good for, that might change the narrative that they're hearing in their head. So I'm going to tap into and just reach out to as many people in my sphere of influence and just get in the habit, you guys, of I recommend everybody in your sphere of influence every 90 days. You're just reaching out to them, checking in on them, focusing on the relationship first, right? Utilizing the law, leveraging the law of reciprocity. And I've done an insane amount of repeat referral business over the years, but I've never had to beg for a referral, right? I've always made it about them. How are they doing? What's going on in their world, their family? I take detailed notes on all of that stuff. So the next conversation could build out the last conversation. I wait then for them to ask about me. They always do, right? Then I'm able to bring it full circle into that full conversation and still talk about real estate without being that douchey salesperson. So tap into that sphere of influence. There's usually going to be some gold there inside your sphere of influence. All right. So then number 2, tapping into old leads. So any previous leads, like you got this database, you got these leads in there, tap into those. We are having so much success right now in my team with tapping into leads that are 2 years, 3 years out. Like if I could have my vote now today versus new leads versus old leads, like, look, I want to tap in. Let's just say I have a CRM of 3,000 leads and like half of those are 2+ years old. Well, dude, I'd rather give me the 1,500 leads that are 2+ years old versus the newer leads today. That's where we are having a ton of success right now today, and as well as our new business that's coming in. But there's a lot of gold in here, right? You've got a lot of these buyers that just got sick and tired of the market conditions over the last couple of years. They were having to go out there and bid against 20 other people on every single property. So maybe they, offer on 10 properties and just got discouraged, got sick of it and sick of that climate. You had also a lot of people that were solid buyers, man, solid credit scores, 20% down, solid buyers, but maybe they didn't have the additional $100,000 or $50,000 or $100,000 to cover that appraisal gap difference and the craziness that we saw the last couple of years. So maybe they just couldn't qualify, even though they're very qualified today. Maybe they couldn't qualify during those times, or maybe they just didn't want to. So there's a bit, there's a decent enough percentage out there where there's a lot of gold in those older leads. And when you're reaching out to those, I'm going to have that same style conversation like I just covered with you about our sphere of influence. If you don't know anything about them, if it's not a warm relationship, still check in with them, see how things are going on in their world, their life, and then lead within the real estate, conversation. But I'm leading with positivity in all those real estate conversations, right? It's going to be that repetitive, oh yeah, it's just amazing right now. The market is amazing. It's the best time that we've seen to go out there and buy in the last 3+ years. We're getting our clients, even though interest rates are up, we're finding very effective ways to go out there and get our clients 4%, interest rates in today's market. Yeah, so it's just an amazing market. We are busy as hell, right? Just regurgitating those same conversations over and over and over, creating that different narrative, creates that curiosity. They start asking questions, right, to reinvigorate some of those older leads. Okay, so next three sources. These next three sources, like if you don't have any sphere of influence, you don't have any old leads inside your system, you don't have any of that, or maybe this is a combination that you have those as well. Open houses. So I'm a huge pro. If you've been watching this podcast for a long time, you know that I love open houses. It's how I built my business. 48 deals my first year. I just moved to a new city 2,000 miles away. I didn't know anybody. Open houses is one of the quickest ways that I have found to now money. If I need a buyer in my car in the next week, or 2 buyers in my car over the next week, and I get listings too, but right now we're going to be focused on buyers because it's where I can lead to the quickest revenue. I'm going to go out there and start doing open houses, right? So go out there, do open houses. Now here on my channel, if you're just search open houses, I got a ton of content walking you through my open house strategy. Got to be strategic with this stuff. Make sure you're picking the right properties, have the right setup, the tour process, right? You know how to lead those tours into setting appointments. All of that stuff, though, I've broken down and I've created, 30, 40-minute trainings or even longer than that on this channel. You'll go out there and find those. But I'm going to crush as many open houses as I possibly can. Weekend open houses is where I get the best success. But here's the cool thing with open houses is I look at an open houses, dude, it's my virtual office for the day. It's my virtual office where I have the highest likelihood of getting walk-in traffic. So during the day, if I don't have client meetings, whatever, I can still go out there and crank out open houses. I still have the opportunity and chance to get walkthroughs coming in. And look, even if I don't get anybody walking through and I pull a donut that day, meaning 0 leads, I'm still able to go there and get work done. It's not like when I set up an open house, I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs, picking my nose, doing nothing. No, I'm working on my systems. I'm following up with leads. I'm, building out my systems, my processes. I'm following up with, again, doing my lead follow-up. I'm being proactive at leveraging that time. So it's no different than me going to the office to work, other than now I'm just working at this other office. That's my storefront for the day, my office for that day. So you can go out there and you could crank 5, 6, 7 open houses a week. I'm going to do as many of those as I possibly can. Okay, so the next strategy is lenders. Right now, lenders are hurting. So this is a strategy that we've been deploying for a long time, but right now you have more success than maybe you did in 2020, 2021, because lenders were so busy with refis and so forth, where now lenders are desperate. Like, they need our business. They want our business. They need more business. So you'll have more success with this today than probably any other, anytime, at least in the last, decade plus. But reaching out to lenders in your market that are good lenders, that are good lenders, that that you like, that you trust. If you don't know any, go and talk to your broker, talk to other top agents inside your office. But reaching out to those lenders and asking them if you can follow up with their old leads, right? So these are people that reached out for a loan. And I'm not even going to put a time frame to that. I'd go back as long as they've been a lender. I don't care if these are 10 years old, 2 years old, a day old, whatever. These are leads that have reached out to apply for a loan, whether they went through the application process or just inquired on a loan, but for whatever reason, they didn't move forward with it, or at least with that lender, right? And asking them if you can reach out to these leads on their behalf to try to get them to see if they want to, if they're interested in give another shot, right? If this is something that they want to, reconsider moving forward with, right? Now I'm telling you right now, like, you call 250 of these, like, you're going to get an approved client in your call. So when you're reaching out to them, now I'm going to reach out on the lender's behalf. So when I reach out to them, whatever their name is, whatever their name is, I'm going to insert myself as I'm working with / for that actual lender. So, hey, John, Joshua Smith here. I work with boom, lender's name at lender's company. Our records indicate that you applied for a loan. It looks like about, let's just, whatever that date is, 18 months ago on, so-and-so date. And for whatever reason, it doesn't look like you move forward with that. And we just wanted to reach out. There's so many, the market's the best market that we've seen to go out there and buy in the last 3+ years. We're able to go out there. There's so many great loan programs. We're able to get our clients affordable interest rates, even though interest rates have been going up. We found very effective ways to get our clients still low interest rates. So we've seen it again on all fronts, the best market to go out there and buy in the last 3+ years. and just wanted to see if this is something that you still have interest in, something that you would like to re-explore, right? So I'm just having those conversations with them, trying to get them reapplied with the lender. Boom, the lender gets the business, gets the loan app. They get to do the loan. I get the real estate business, right? So going out to your, as many lenders as you can find in your area and following up as many leads that they'll give you, reaching out to those. You're just playing ISA, if you will, for them, but then you also can service those as the agent on the agent side. Now, the last thing here, the last strategy, if you will. Now I like the one above with the lenders because you get to keep your full co-broke. But if you don't have any lenders, or again, you can combine these, reaching out to top busy agents in your market and or top busy team leaders in your market. Look, top busy agents, top busy team leaders have an abundance usually of old leads or whether the old and or new leads that are being neglected, that aren't getting worked. So having that same conversation. Hey, I'd like to see if you would allow me to work any of your leads that maybe balls gotten dropped on, that are getting neglected, that aren't getting worked, for whatever reason. See if I can reach out to those leads to see if I can get them to reconsider the buying process or the selling process. See if I can get them, to reconsider it and to get them to move forward. See if I can convert those, and I'll split that with you, those commissions with you. Anybody I'm able to convert, I'll split those with you 50-50. Look, most, like, these are leads that aren't getting work, that are getting neglected, that are sitting there in their database, that aren't going to get converted without you. So they'd be stupid to say no to that. Now you might have to go reach out to 10 top agents or team leaders. Some have a scarcity mindset or whatever to get them to open that up to you. But you reach out to enough of them, they are going to say yes, right? So these are 4 different strategies. And just to recap those, we got tapping into your sphere of influence. We got tapping into old leads inside your CRM. We got open houses. We got, lenders, reaching out to lenders, applications or inquiries that didn't move forward with the loan. And then we got tapping into top agents and top team leaders leads that are being neglected to try to convert those. And again, splitting those 50-50. But those are ways, like, dude, if you just go full on the accelerator on any one of these, but if you combine those, if you have the capacity to combine all of these or a multitude of them, like, you will go out there and start making now money very quickly, and boom, fill up that pipeline where you're able to go out there and make 100 grand in the next 90 days, or at least get 100 grand total between commissions closed and pending under contract in that pipeline in the next 90 days. So I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, and you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. If you want to toss me a comment, I personally reply to and respond to all of these comments that are coming here on the channel. I check them every single day. I reply. So you got me. So if you have any questions about anything I talked about here or other questions, you can type that question in and get a response from me personally. Also, make sure that you go check out gsdmode.com for more. I got my free ebook on there, which are 42 top tips and strategies to grow and explode your real estate business. Gets delivered to your email box, no spam, no strings attached. It's dominate your real estate business, top tips from a top producer. So that's my ebook. I've got a 3-hour in-depth, free, no strings attached training on my 6 fundamental steps to 3xing or more your real estate business in the next 12 months, regardless of the marketplace. And I have a lot of emphasis on how to pivot, shift, and adapt during this market right now to go out there and continue to expand and explode your business, even though we're going through this real estate correction, which I know a lot of people are hurting right now in our industry, because they don't know how to adapt, shift, and pivot. So I'm going through, over my 18 years, all the different markets that I've seen, these 6 fundamentals are what I attach to and apply that have allowed me to continue to grow my real estate business year over year, regardless of the marketplace. So again, gsdmode.com, where you can check that out. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for all your support, for being here, for listening, for watching. Keep crushing it, keep kicking ass, and I will see you next time. Peace.